Hey John, Terry here at Simple Swings, and I got your golf analysis video here. Now I'm in the mall, so you might hear some background noise. Um, but your swing looks really good. I like the setup. I like the way you get a lot of shoulder turn. Now I'm going to sort of compare you to the little Tour Pro over here on the right, okay? And I'm going to take you all back on the same positionings that you would have. Now, first of all, I'm going to stop you guys right here on the takeaway. I really like the extension on that takeaway, John. That's really good now, because if you come to the Tour Pro here, as you can see, both you guys have got the club out, way out, away from your body to create width, to create power that we talk about here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to extend you up to the top of your backswing. Okay, now, this is where you could even get more power, John. Okay, I really like this position here. It looks like you're a big, strong guy. You got a lot of flexibility. That's almost ideal in terms of your wrist and your shaft, because as you see as a Tour Pro, what he does, he's not going to go near parallel. Okay, so he's going to stop right there. Now, again, everything looks pretty decent right now. The Tour Pro's hitting a 4-iron, I think, or a 3-iron. I think you're probably hitting an 8-iron, looks like, or maybe a 9-iron. So what's going to happen now is that you coming down to the ball, we've got to really make sure that we shift our weight. Now, the thing about it is, John, you didn't really shift your weight on the backswing. The reason why I know that is because, see, your right knee is still kind of straight, whereas the Tour Pro's knee is kind of pointing to the left. And we're going to see how it's going to affect your swing on the downswing. Now, this is easy to correct, because as soon as you understand the weight shift, all of this is going to work for you really, really good. And as we go on back, really like that extension, really like that coming down. Now, I really like how this comes down. You're really in good position here. But where it's going to catch up to you, John, is because you didn't have a lot of weight shift to your right side, that means that your body didn't shift to the right. So now when you come down, you're going to basically kind of cast your arms down because there wasn't any weight shift. And I don't want to get too technical into it, but the point I'm making is when you come here, you see where you start to lose your shaft angle? Okay, you see where it looks good and all of a sudden you kind of lose your shaft angle right in here? You see that? You see how you kind of scoop the ball? Okay, that's because the weight shift wasn't there, so your body, okay, so your body kind of held steady. And so when you just drop your arms, you were basically hitting all arms coming through the ball. There wasn't any weight shift back to the left because you didn't have a lot of weight shift to the right. There's not a great deal of weight shift to the left. And we'll get into that more in more videos and more lessons in the Swing in the Spring golf lessons. But now, the reason why the difference here is on the right side, John, is because what happens is when the Tour Pro comes down, notice how everything starts to move to the right. To the left. You see everything just starts to move to the left. You see how his body's shifting. You see how all this is just moving. Let me draw some lines for you, John. You see how when he comes down, all this is just moving, to the left. He's got all this going to the left. And what's going to happen is his head is going to stay behind the ball. So then all this can move that way. Now, you on the other hand, I like the way your head's behind the ball, okay, but since you didn't have a lot of shift this way at all, now this is just going to drop, okay, and you're going to sort of chicken wing the ball, or scoop the ball as we call it, but we can fix that right away, okay. Let me see here. So as you're coming through, you kind of lose your shaft angle, and right here, John, where your hands are approaching the ball, okay, and I might have caught you maybe in a frame too far, but let me just show you something. When your hands are about over the ball, this shaft needs to be more out this way, okay. Now, because when the Tour Pro comes into the ball, what's going to happen is his hands are going to be here, his shaft is going to be back there. See, your shaft is here. See, his shaft's not going to be here, okay? Let's take a look at that. Okay, so again, as he comes into the ball, notice as his hands approach, Okay, now his ball is a little forward in front of his stance because, like I said, he's hitting a longer iron. So, in other words, the ball positioning, if he was hitting a club like yours, would be right here. So notice how his hand's over the ball, but the shaft is back here, whereas you've already kind of released your shaft, back here, where you lost a lot of power. Now, as you come through the ball, it's going to be more evident as you hit the ball. Okay, you see how you kind of scoop it right there. Okay. Notice how the Tour Pro, when he comes into the ball, notice how his arms extend out. Okay. You see how his arms are extended, whereas you scooped it because you lost power back there. Now, but I really like your follow through. You come through, you come up, and the follow through is right on target. Now notice how the Tour Pro comes up, his follow through is right on target. So the only thing that you missed, John, on this swing, again, is right in here. Okay, it's right in here, and like I said, how we fix that is you need to shift your weight a little more to the right, and when you drop your arms, get your head farther behind the ball so everything can shift out of the way. See, because when that happens, when you come down, all this is going to shift out of the way. Okay, you're not going to be held up back here. Okay, all this is going to go this way. And then you're going to get all that leverage you had back in here, all that leverage you had here, you're just going to drop right into place. Okay? And that's the only thing you saw over here with the Tour Pro. So, do this, John. Go ahead and sort of work on that. And if you can, send me the down the line video. I guess I just couldn't load it. Or maybe I didn't tell you. But I couldn't load your down the line video for some reason. I just got your front view. So, I'm going to send this analysis to you on a golf pod, and what we can do is we can communicate one-on-one in your golf pod. Now I'll show you how that works when that's sent it to you. Okay, but other than that, man, you're a big, strong guy. All you got to do is work on that weight shift to the right and just know how your head manages not only your weight shift to the right, but how it manages all your weight shift back to the left. Okay. All right, John, I'll talk to you soon, hopefully. Let's keep this going. Let's keep that golf pod going so we can really have you cranking that ball out there. Okay? Talk to you soon.